All right, guys, welcome to episode I literally can't remember of the Talking Does podcast. I am Mr. Ryan Riley, and this is Mr. Peyton Arthur, coming to you in a little bit different format this fine evening. Mr. Arthur, what's happening this week?
Well, we've had a busy week. Ag 1's been intensely studying animal science. Ag 2's been getting ready to go in the shop. We did our safety test today. I think all of my students passed their safety test, so we're going to be in the shop starting Monday, building projects. So we're really excited about that.
Awesome. Well, Ag 3-4 was in the small engine shop, the newly starting of renovation of the small engine shop, and Mr. Arthur, we had to do more remediation than what we thought was going to happen, but we were able to build up, and today we had a full assembly assessment, and it went decently. We had several gaskets break and that sort of thing, but it happens. A small engine repair. I would like to thank my dogs for making a guest appearance tonight as they yip and yap. That's what we should rename both of them, Yip and Yap. But Ag 34 had a great time. All of them love engines so much, and
I think that's sarcasm.
Well, it might be sarcasm. It's up to them, really. But that was Ag 3-4. What did we do in Ag 1?
Well, we started off, I think we started last Thursday with animal science and moved in this week into really getting into beef breeds. And today we did dairy cattle breeds, and so it's laying that basic foundation for animal science before we move into some more intense stuff next week.
Right. Yeah, that's we've been looking forward to getting to animal science for a long time, and I think it's one of those things that we can really help their future selves a lot in animal science, because that, if anything comes under attack, it's animal science. Right. No one's ever coming after the corn growers and the soybean farmers of America. It's always the beef cattle. It's always the poultry farmers, right, and that sort of thing. And so, really, that's my favorite thing about animal science. Really, changing that perspective, and it all starts with the ground, the roots that we give them. They learn the terms and all.
I think you said it this week. They're more educated consumers when they finish this unit, so I think that's very important.
Looking, again, we have a little bit different format today, a little bit just overall different. I think now would be a great time for our first question.
Okay. So one of the things we discussed, I believe it was Monday, with this group, I think would be a great review for all of our ag students out there, is to know the two subspecies of domestic cattle. And, we have Bos taurus and Bos indicus. And Bos taurus being those cattle that originated, in Europe, Bos indicus being India and Asia. And so both play a very vital role, especially in Louisiana, in our beef industry here. But for those of you in Ag 1, that'll definitely be a good, something you'll know. But for maybe Ag 2 and 3, 4, be kind of a review question.
So, I wish, we have Indicus. That kind of makes sense for the India. Yeah. I wish there was something that meant, of the other, but there's not. Anyway, so, Mr. Arthur, I think that takes us to the part where we normally kind of talk about the future. It normally has a FFA slant.
Yeah.
Unless you have anything else from this week.
No.
We had several quotes, and I wish I would have thought to grab those papers where they named beef breeds.
Yeah.
Do you remember some of the best ones?
One stuck out to me, and I think you probably know which one. They were doing an activity, and
is it the 2-word one?
Yeah.
Okay.
And we gave each student a breed, and then they got to answer a scenario and choose a breed they thought best fit that scenario. And we gave them Beefmaster, and the student chose Santa Gertrudis, and when she crossed them, she called it Beefy Santa, which was an excellent Christmas-themed breed name. So that one kind of stuck out to me a little bit.
I liked that one. There was one where they took a Simmental, crossed it with a Charolais, and that was a Charmental.
Charmental sounds like toilet paper.
So that's exactly what I was saying, the toilet paper breed, for sure. So, I really wanted to have those papers with us when we shot this, but we don't. I'm sorry for all those others. There were several good ones.
There was a lot of good ones. That was a really good activity, I thought.
I thought that was great. I'm glad Dr. Griffin got to witness the fun on that one. That was something where they were able to express themselves. And we've talked this unit, is not really a unit that allows for a lot of open creativity, but that's one way that we could. So now let's look at next week, what's happening next week. We have a couple of big ticket items that are happening. In addition to, I guess we'll start with P-Law.
Yeah.
So P-Law, we were back in the room with them this week. We had our first, after several setbacks, we had a P-Law practice this week, and I thought it ran very well.
Yeah, it was a really good practice, I thought.
Yeah, and me and you and a couple of our national team members have been working on a plan, and I think if it's not successful, Mr. Arthur, it won't be for us being short on planning.
No, not at all. Not at all. It was a practice that I thought kept students busy for a solid hour. Just moving and teaching content, rehearsing content.
Yeah.
I thought I talked to several of the freshmen who were first timers coming out for the team, and they said, I'm still a little confused, but today helped a lot. And so that's really all you can ask for after practice number one. So they're motivated and we're motivated. I think it's going to be an excellent LDE season.
We've been talking about Siobhan, goat meat, and P-Law is kind of like goat meat. The more you chew, the more there is.
Yeah.
And so I think they're going to be a little bit confused for a little bit, and there's a lot of pieces, and you just got to keep stacking them together.
I just assured them that once we get through this and we get to doing demonstrations every practice, and they're really going to think it's fun, because it is. It's a really good time.
Right, and one of the things that we're doing with the planning is trying to make sure, because we had 18 sign up and kind of come out, we're trying to make sure all of them, for one, have an equal opportunity to be a part of something great, and two, it's very above board, where they all have they all see everything. We're all together as much as we can, because as a freshman, you want to see what could happen if you work on it.
Right.
And I think that's a very important part of it. So we do have P-Law practice on Tuesday. We were going to try potentially to get something together on Sunday. It's just not going to happen this Sunday.
Not this week.
We got church stuff and different things happening. Sunday practice might be a thing. A 2 p.m. practice might be a thing in the future. Will not be in the month of December.
No.
So we'll revisit that back when we get back in January. But we have P-Law practice on Tuesday. That is following
Turkey Day.
Turkey Day Part 2.
Yeah. Got our call. We'll have turkeys delivered probably before 8 a.m. on Tuesday morning. So it'll be an early morning for us, and hopefully those will be ready for pickup. Around 10 or 11, we'll have everything boxed up and ready to be picked up at the ag department. It'll look a little different than it did last time, because we'll have students in school.
Right.
So a lot of our boxes will be taken home. It's also a smaller order than we had last time, so looking at around 350 items or so. And so pay attention in class, be ready for instructions on Monday. Hopefully we'll know a little bit more and have some more things planned out. But those items should be ready to be taken home after school on Tuesday.
Right. We got that. And then if anybody ordered t-shirts, sweatshirts, merchandise, it'll be in the ag department on Thursday. There's been kind of a little glitch in the system. We don't know if my white Chevy is going to pick up that, if your buddy is going to pick up that, if Ups is bringing that. It'll be in Winfield in the 71483 Thursday.
Some point Thursday. And you will have them before Friday afternoon.
Yes. If Beefy Santa was bringing it for your Christmas present, it'll be here, as quickly as it'll be before we get out.
Right.
Mr. Arthur, I think we get out at noon on Friday. That's right. I think we do. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. Y'all don't care. So, Mr. Arthur, that's the t-shirts. That is the turkeys. That is pilaf. Couple of things that we forgot about this week. We did have an officer Christmas party.
We did.
That's why we look festive.
Yeah. Like the white sweater here.
Yeah, I think it's great. I thought they had a great time. Great time fellowship. I'm looking at the aftermath in the house, and it's great. It's great. But we are having the privilege of having pictures tomorrow on Friday.
Yeah.
With one of our members' parents taking the pictures.
Yeah.
I believe there was talk of them having committee meetings. I don't know if that's a thing still. But if that happens, they're planning, I believe, 3 different virtual events that'll be put out sometime between now and mid-January.
Yeah.
So we have several things that are going to be posted in the next month-ish. So there's things happening in the ag department. Also today on Friday we have another of our Fridays episode is going to be posted live. It's a great episode. The audio is still kind of wonky, but overall it's a great thing that the kids put together. So I think, Mr. Arthur, do you have anything else FFA-wise, news?
Just if you're watching this, because it's an assignment, and you haven't paid your FFA dues, we're still taking those. We really are hoping to have a cookout soon, but pay attention in class for information about that.
What else? To pay their dues. We're giving you opportunities for them to be an active member.
Yeah.
I think that's one of our biggest things is for them to have stuff to do, and in the times like these, we're trying to give those opportunities as much as we can. Do you have another question?
I do. My question again relating to beef cattle, because that's been on our minds all week. What breed of beef cattle is naturally insect and heat resistant? And I'll give you a second to think about it if you're watching this, but it's the main Bos indicus breed that we talk about, and that's the Brahman. That's really, I talked earlier about that both play a very vital role in Louisiana beef production. Well, that's a reason why Bos indicus does is because the climate we have in Louisiana and the insects that we have here, and so it's not hard to drive around and see Brahman cattle everywhere. I told the kids in class, if you drive on 84 going to Natchitoches, there's a whole field of them. But we also use those in crossbreeding systems as well to better prepare our Boss Taurus cattle for heating and sex.
Is there an uglier cow?
Not that we talk about.
Gosh, they're so ugly. Anyway, and that's after seeing the Jersey today, which is just gorgeous.
Yeah.
And then
Real flabby skin, camel-looking, floppy ears.
I'm just the face. Oh man, nightmares.
And it doesn't help that they're temperamental.
Yeah.
If you're gonna be ugly, at least be nice.
That's the takeaway. Yeah. Have a good personality. My gosh. Anyway, so we're not doing a quiz at the end of the show. It really makes me sad. I love my quizzes, but due to me not having, we're shooting this on a webcam.
Yeah.
I can't do it. So, Mr. Arthur, been doing the Shel Silverstein poems in class. I believe it's getting on your nerves. I believe it's getting on several people's nerves, but I'm doing it for me. And so I apologize.
Go for it.
But allow me to indulge myself. So I've been reading out of my copy of Where the Sidewalk Ends, the silver copy that you said that you are familiar with. I actually got a new one in today. Not a different Silverstein, but anyway. So the Where the Sidewalk Ends begins with invitation.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is a great one, and I think this really embodies my philosophy of education and how I like to run the ag department, how I think you like to run the ag department. I think this is a great thing. Invitation, I believe I'm going to put this on the screen and post. I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe I will. But Invitation by Shel Silverstein. If you are a dreamer, come in. If you are a dreamer, a wisher, a liar, a hoper, a prayer, a magic bean buyer. If you're a pretender, come sit by my fire. For we have some flax, golden tales to spin. Come in, come in. I think it's a great thing to be a hoper, a prayer, a magic bean buyer. Believe in whatever you're doing. Do it wholeheartedly. At the Christmas party, they were talking about, they were picking with each other and joking.
I was thinking the same thing.
But they did it, and all of them have full conviction in whatever they're talking about. Yeah. This week as I was taking roll in Ag 3-4, they got in an argument about 2 TV shows, 2 cartoons that both of them liked one of them, but they were arguing against it because they just wanted to pretty much test the conviction of the other one. And I thought it was a kind of a joy as I was clicking, absent here, absent here. It was a great time, but that's kind of the climate that we like to cultivate. And
if nothing else in the world we live in, it's important to teach people that they can disagree, while also being passionate about what they enjoy, but being respectful of other people's opinions.
Yeah. So, be that person. Be the dreamer. It's okay to dream. If you don't know where you're going, that's okay. But you need to have an idea of where you might want to go. Yeah. Sometimes we get in the car, me, you, and Bethany, and we're like, where are we going to eat? We know we're going to eat. We don't know where. So have those dreams. Yeah. So, Mr. Arthur, do you have anything else for these?
I don't think so. Of course, you're watching this on Friday. If you've missed any assignments, please take the day to make those up. If you're missing any podcasts, please take the day to make these up. Take this day to make these up. And I will be putting in grades today. I'm sure you'll try to get some in as well. And so when your parents get a call, maybe if you have any question about what you're missing, just send us an email. We'll be glad to let you know. But you will know once you get that 0.
I've tried to send out some emails this past week. The funny thing about making announcements in these videos, the ones that need the announcement don't watch the video.
Yeah. Just by chance you watch it.
Just by chance. Maybe you scrubbed ahead and this is where you're at. Mr. Arthur, I'm planning something big for next week's show.
Okay.
Because it's right before Christmas.
Right.
You know, I think we should have a Christmas show. But that'll be next week.
Yeah.
So, guys, as always, go Big Red.
Go Big Red. See you next week.